Hey guys, welcome to Adia Crochets. My name is Adia and I am a very small business owner, crochet business owner. This channel will be like a documentation of some lifestyle content, but heavily focused on crochet and knitting. I love both of those so much, so thank you for stopping into this channel and hopefully you guys like it here. So I thought for a video today, it would be super cool just to get to know me a little bit, as this is my first YouTube video. I actually have filmed a couple of videos prior to this in the months of October, into October and November, but I will put those somewhere later on the channel because they're not as clean as these videos are, just because I have better lighting now, which you'll be able to see later when I post those videos, if I post those videos. But yes, so my name is Adia. I'm 25 years old. I am married. Got married last year, graduated college last year. So lots of change in a very short period of time. But yeah, I love pretty much everything I'm doing right now. But crochet has taken over like in fourfold this last year, and I have really been enjoying my journey. I have done a total of 3 markets. The first 2 were not that successful, but my third one was really good. I'm really excited. I do live in a small town, so I haven't made thousands of dollars or anything like that, but I did make $507 at my last market, and that is a huge uptick from my last 2 markets. I barely made $200 in those. So this was super exciting to actually see my products selling and people loving them. People did love them at the other events. I think I did have my prices a little too high for the area I live in. So knowing your pricing by area is going to be super important if you're just starting out with markets. I learned that the hard way. I didn't have many like $5 items or anything like that, and people really love $5 items. I mean, that's why 5 and below is so popular, because $5 is not that much to a lot of people. And so this time I went super heavy with $5 items, and they sold like hotcakes. Even my like things that were out of season, I had pumpkins and ghost. I sold those for $5 out of here, and it was November the 17th, so they didn't even have very much time to have that harvest stuff out before Christmas come, and they still bought it. So $5 items, super important. I note that for the next show. But yeah, so this is me. So before I became a teeny tiny crochet business owner, I graduated in music. So I love to sing, and if you guys are interested in that, I may post something here and there to do with music, because I do love music. That is my first love. Crochet is like a stiff second though, like they're right there, but I do love music a little bit more. So yeah, if you guys are interested in it, I might throw something in every now and again, but this channel will mainly be about crocheting and knitting. So I am not an avid knitter, I'm an avid crocheter, so I am much better at crochet than I am knit. I am very interested to learn though. I have knitted a couple of things. Let me see if I can actually show you. So I did knit this hat right here, which I love so much. I ran out of this green yarn. So this is the Loops and Thread in cilantro. And then this is the Loops and Thread in cream, I believe. I'm not really sure about the lighter color, but I know for a fact this is cilantro. So this is knitted. It's a pretty simple beanie. It has a ribbed border, as you can see. It's 1x1 rib, so 1 knit 1 purl all the way around, and then the rest of it is just knitted in the round. It's all knitted in the round, actually. I don't know why I said that. It is all knitted in the round from bottom to top. And then I just did a drawstring closure. So it's where you cast off all of your needles onto just one piece of thread, or the tail that's left over. I cast it off and onto that, and then I just like pulled it tight, weaved it in, and hid it. You can't even really see where I hid it, even if I flip to the inside. I'm really good at that. That's one thing I've learned about knitting so far. But there is this little knot right here, so you kind of can see. But who's looking in there? I'm not. This is my hat. So yes, so I have been knitting a bit. I'm just now getting comfortable with knitting in the round and just knitting with better tension. I made this exact same hat for my husband, and his is a little bit like not as neat when it comes to the knitting portion. Like for me, this is really, really good. The tension is pretty even. Like if you've been knitting longer than I have, maybe you're like, that looks terrible. For me, this is pretty good. Even with the color change, my tension didn't change at all. So I'm like super proud of that. But I have been on a hat kick lately. I'm also knitting a hat with smaller needles and smaller yarn as well. This is going to be knit the same way. I don't know what size it's going to be. It looks about the same size as the hat I'm currently knitting. Like if I stretch it, it does look like it'll fit a human head. I hope so. But this is mainly for me to practice all of the easy knitting techniques with just a smaller hook and a smaller smaller needles and smaller thread, just so I can get used to working with it. I did start on a top like a while ago, and I really, really love that top. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I might frog it and start over, but it just doesn't look as good as I think I can be now. Like with knitting, I feel like I get better and better after each project. So the differences between this project and that project is going to be like really wide. As opposed to with crochet, my products pretty much look the same. I mean, I have gotten a lot better over the past year because I've only been knitting and crocheting for a year. So I definitely say it has gotten better, but it's not that noticeable. With knit, it is very noticeable. The first thing I actually ever knitted was I started a sweater, which one thing you'll learn about me, this is funny, I do not know how to ease into projects. So my first thing I ever crocheted was a purse. I'll insert a picture of that somewhere when I'm editing. But I started with a purse. Usually people start off with like granny squares, chaining. I went directly into a project from like step one, and I made a really good product. So I thought I would be able to do the same thing with knitting, and I got humbled because knitting is so hard. Like it is, oh my gosh, it is so hard. I like it, I really do like it, but it's very difficult if you do not understand the basics. Now, what I'm about to show you looks really, really good, but the issue is I don't know how I got here. So I started a sweater, and not only did I start a sweater, the pattern that I'm using for this sweater is by like the sweater making knitter. She's like amazing. I don't know if I can pronounce her name. It's like Kuto Kika. She's amazing. I love her. She's one of my favorite YouTube channels to watch. And she's the reason I really got into knitting. I watched her video on making her wedding dress, and that's what really like sparked my interest. So I thought that I could just right off the bat make her cinema sweater. I could not make the sweater, but I did do most of the yoke. So this is the neckline here, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to fold over and you sew it into place. But this is the yoke of that sweater. First thing I ever knitted. It doesn't look terrible. Like, I'm actually pretty proud of just the neckline of this sweater, but I don't think it looks terrible. And who knows, maybe I'll cast this back on and, well, it's not even cast off. The hooks are, the needles are right here. Maybe I'll, you know, finish it. Maybe I won't. For now, I'm going to keep it as is. And I think I'm going to try and make this sweater again. But this would have been so cute. It's like pink. The yarn I'm using, or the yarn I was using, is a 3-weight wool yarn that I think I got it from Michael's. And the lighter shade that almost looks white, it's actually a light pink as well, is a pink mohair that I also think I got from Michael's. So this is what they actually look like. So pink, and then a lighter pink down here. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. It's like the softest, squishiest. Like, I wish I could finish it, guys, but I can't because I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'll try again later, but yeah. So that is pretty much my knitting journey, and I make a ton of things. I am so excited at this level of crochet that I'm at now, to where I can start making patterns and tweaking things if I don't like it in a pattern. So exciting. So I made this super adorable Snoopy. I crocheted this, guys. Like, that's so, I love it. So this pattern I got from Etsy. I think it was like a couple dollars, $3, $4. But the Snoopy body was originally white, but I was like, wouldn't it be so cute to make him wear a Christmas sweater? And this is not done yet, but I decided to make the color changes with the different colors, and I think that's so cool and so cute. But like I said, this isn't done because I do want to embroider some little stars on here to make it just like really Christmas ornament-y. And his hat is a functional hat, and it's removable. And then you have like his cute little face. I need to lint roll this because all of those color changes. But how cute. How cute. Love it. And I made this in about 3 hours, which is not, that isn't my fastest project, but with all of the things going on, and this is not a no-sew pattern, so I did have to make each of these parts and sew them together. So it definitely took me a second, but I tweaked the pattern slightly. So in the arms, I added 1 stitch, and in the legs, I think I also added a stitch. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I did because it kind of gives the pattern away, and I would not want to do that if I was a pattern maker who was, you know, selling my hard-earned work. I wouldn't want anyone to give my patterns away, so I'm not gonna do that. The only thing else that I'm probably gonna add to him that's not in the pattern besides the color changes, I'm going to embroider some stars on him. And I'm probably going to add a little tail because he has like a little, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a wave. It looks like a wave, but it's a tail. Just look up Snoopy and you'll see. And I also deviated from the embroidered eyes. I wanted plastic eyes. This is for my nephew, and he is 4, and he is totally not eating or choking. I think he actually just turned 5. I think he's 5. He's not choking on these, so I am not embroidering eyes. I usually embroider eyes on everything I make though. So I had these safety eyes and I just wanted to use them. So that is the Snoopy that I've made. And I'm gonna show you guys some chickens that I made as well to go in like the crochet portion of this video. I'm also working on some, the camera, sorry guys. I'm also working on some custom orders, which I'm super excited about. Love a good custom order. But these are some of the chickens I made recently. How cute. And these are with the embroidered eyes. So I try to make, if I'm gonna make 20 chickens, I try to do half with embroidered, half with the safety eyes. because if babies want to, you know, play with these, I want it to be super safe for them. So this is the Bernat blanket yarn in color. What color is this? I got a whole yarn wall right here, guys. Sunday Times. So this is Sunday Times. This is, I believe, orange leaf. I believe also blanket yarn. So cute. The most beautiful fall color I've ever saw. It's perfect. And then I made some white chickens. This is all the oak and marlow pattern, and this is just a regular size maple chicken. And I used a 8 hook, which is what's recommended. For my first round of chickens that I ever did, these are not the first. This is like the second edition of chickens. I made them with a 10 hook, a 10 millimeter hook, and they were slightly bigger. I'm still a little confused on like what exactly I want to charge for these, because I originally charged $15 for these, which I think is a great price, but because of the area that I live in, I hardly sold them at all. I think for it being like this size, I have really big hands, so I'm probably not the best one to hold this for size comparison, but like it's basically the size of my hand, basically. And people just didn't want to spend $15 on something this size. So I actually, to get rid of the chickens, because I didn't think I was going to make them again, but this time I'm going to make them, but a smaller amount. Before, I think I made 15 chickens. I think now I'm going to probably just make 10, 5 and 5, 5 with embroidered eyes and 5 with safety eyes. So I'm basically done. I have 7 chickens here. So I have 3 more of these to make. And yeah, so I am still a little conflicted on the price. I know that my work is worth $15 a chicken. Like I've seen some people sell these for $25. I know what it's worth, but because of my area that I live in, I have to keep that in mind as well if I want to sell anything. So these are probably going to be $8 to $10 because my $8 items are also about this same size. So I think 8 to 10 is probably what I'm going to sell them at. That's why I also don't make them very often, or I won't make them very often after this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a quick little glance and look into my life as I get this channel started. I wanted to participate in Vlogmas because I think that's super fun, but it did start yesterday, so I don't know if I can call this Vlogmas, but I am going to try and post a bunch in the month of December. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys come along for the ride. It'll be a super fun time. I have many things planned. But yeah, thank you guys for spending this little bit of time with me on the internet today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.